All right, everyone, we'll go ahead and get started and then we'll keep letting people in. So today we're going to be discussing building and expanding on play skills and supporting play dates. So we'll start off with some introductions. So my name is Dominique Sullivan. I am a developmental therapist here at Bluebird Day. I received my master's in early childhood special education. And I've done early intervention. I've worked as a volunteer at Gigi's Playhouse and Special Olympics. So I've had some background like work with children with special needs. And then Molly, who also works at Bluebird, will go ahead and introduce herself.
Hi, everyone. I'm also a developmental therapist and the department lead of our therapy case managers, which are our teachers per se. I have a master's in child development with a specialization in infancy, and I also have my early intervention credential as well.
All right, so this first slide here, we're going to talk about the importance of play. Play is just super important for cognitive, physical, and social emotional development. It allows for creativity, and it's just a great opportunity for children to, engage with peers and just even like adults and their caregivers. In this picture here, we have different types of play for children. So these are just kind of like I would say like steps of how children play. So in that first like left-hand side, it's called unoccupied play. So we see this like in babies more. So they're kind of just like exploring their environment, looking around. And then we'll go into like the solitary play where they play more with themselves. They're just kind of, they're playing with a toy, won't really share attention with anyone else really. And the next one is our onlooker play. So this type of play is where a child will look towards a peer, an adult, will be interested in what they're doing. And then we have parallel play where they are playing next to each other with the same item. They might like give a look at each other, but they're not really communicating at this point. And then we have our associative and cooperative play. And this is more of like the higher end of play where, they're talking back and forth. They might be making some rules up. So it's like more that high end play where we're seeing a lot more of like, I'm like the teacher and you'll be the student kind of thing.
So the usage of toys in play, toys are obviously tools that we use to make the experience more exciting. The American Academy of Pediatrics says that toys bring the parent or caregiver and child together in playful interactions. Relationships are the most important tool in play. And everything in a kid's world is learned through play. So use of real life items will help kind of support that bridge meaning behind everyday experiences.
All right, so the first item that we have here that we'll go over is the laundry basket. I am in love with this toy per se. It's very versatile. We can do a bunch of stuff with it. So for instance, for sensory play, we can put some heavy items in there like books or like heavy toys. And then the kids can just push it around and get some proprioceptive input. Pretend play, we can, have a kid sit in the basket and pretend to drive a car around it. I've seen some parents take their child and put them in the basket and do like a roller coaster ride. You can even do some pretend play with it and do like have a baby in there, like a baby doll, and put like a blanket or a pillow, and it can be a crib. And it's really just also a great way to do some like following directions activities. So for instance, we can do like they're folding their clothes and then you can have them bringing up to their room or just getting that real life experience. This helps with just daily routines or of just putting their clothes in the basket.
And kitchen items. They're cheap and also very creative. They will help keep your child occupied for so long. And they can also learn to help you during self-care routines like making dinner. It'll support safety awareness and also learning the functional purpose of kitchen items and getting to explore kind of in more of a safe manner. Pots and pans are really fun to bang on like a drum. There's so many sensory play that kids can do with kitchen items. You know, there's flour and rice and beans and noodles, anything you can make sensory bins out of or put them on baking pans. Baking pans are also great magnetic boards. Bowls, you can practice stacking and nesting or pretend play like stirring and pretending that you're having a restaurant. Oven mitts can be puppets. And there's so many different ideas that you can use with just the items in your kitchen.
So we're going to go ahead and continue with kitchen items. To the left here is actually my son. He just turned 12 months, not 12. But we love kitchen items. It's just a great way for me to like be in the kitchen, cook, and he's playing with the bowl or something, and he's content and he's perfectly fine. But we're working here like with fine motor skills. We're working on real life activities like cooking, stirring. I mean, just getting the sensory of exploring of just the kitchen, you know, like where is my body in the kitchen, right? He loves opening and closing the cabinets. We did have to put locks on those, but when we get excited, we can unlock them and he'll go through them and take out a pan or a pot, and like sometimes he'll put the pot on his head like a hat. So that's really nice to see. Then to the right, this is a really fun activity for those higher level skills of like matching. So muffin tins, super fun. We use those a lot for like matching colors. You can use here, there's fruit and they're using the different colors. So they're matching green, they're matching red. You can even do it like sorting. So you can sort like fruits and then sort vegetables. And you don't even have to do it with just food. You can do it with different items. I like the little erasers that you get at like the dollar store of like Target, and we'll sort like Christmas items, fall items, a bunch of different stuff.
Bath towels and blankets are also another amazing toy that everyone has in their home. You can build forts and play peekaboo. Also really good sensory items because you can swing your child in a blanket or pull them around the room in it. You can wrap them tightly in a little like taco or burrito of pillows, and you can even like build a fort and have a movie night or create like a cozy corner in there to read. You could put a blanket out and have some pretend food and build a picnic. There's just so many emerging pretend play ideas that you can do with these items. And especially on like cold, rainy days, you can utilize like teamwork with other siblings. They have to figure out how to build a fort. And it's just a really easy way to use your living room. It can definitely get messy, but that collaboration and problem solving is super important in play.
So here's a quick video again of my son. We love sitting on blankets, and we have wood floors in our house, but he likes to sit on them, and we like drag him around and we'll work on like ready, set, go. I don't know if it'll play. Oh, doesn't seem like it's working, but basically sitting on a blanket, of course, technology. But basically I just sit them on the blanket, and at this, I mean, we want to make sure that, you know, they're sitting, they're able to hold their trunk and like hold their body up, but he can sit on the end of it and you just pull them around. If you're uncomfortable with that, you can even use a laundry basket and then have the laundry basket sit on that. So that way they're holding on to the side of it. But like I was saying, it's really good for like anticipation, using that ready, set, pausing a little bit. And then maybe he might give you some eye contact, or they might say, go. We can use this as a turn taking activity, like, oh, it's sister's turn, or it's mom's turn, or whoever. And they can pretend to like pull you around. And it's also great for like proprioceptive input. It's just for kiddos who are looking for that sensory feedback of like, you know, where their bodies in space, like that deep pressure they might be looking for. So it's a really good activity, like overall, and it's cheap because everyone has blankets.
Bins and boxes are also something that I'm sure come and go, especially around this holiday season time. And they're also really useful in play and creativity. You can make sensory bins out of them, similar to like the kitchen items. You can pretend boxes are anything. You could build a rocket ship, a car, a house, literally anything. They can color it, paint it, put stickers on it. It can be used as container play, which is, putting in and taking out and dumping, which can be a really calming and organizing activity for some little ones. And I think it's just your imagination is kind of endless with a bin or a box. The minute they go in there, you kind of just like see them light up and see where it takes them. You can learn a lot by observing a kid kind of play with a box.
Just to add more onto the bins and boxes, I like to use, like in my classroom, we love rice. We'll dye the color or the rice colored. And then the kids like to scoop it. We're using some fine motor skills here. Again, I like to use those Target erasers, stick them in there, and then maybe use some tongs to have like the kids pick them out. We also love the making houses. So I don't know about you guys, but my child likes the box more than the toy. So we will make the boxes into homes. We might even just use it to put it over our head and say peekaboo, or like hide behind it. So we do a bunch with bins and boxes. Even just like what Molly said, like that in and out, because it's very calming and organizing for children. Again, you can put like balls in there, or taking them out. You can even do some like sorting activity where you have 5 different color boxes and then you put in like blue balls in here, green balls or purple balls, whatever the case may be. It's a great activity to like start from a very low end and then increase to a higher level of skill.
And masking tape or painter's tape are also another easy idea for different types of toys and activities that you can do in the home. You can use tape to build a road for cars or trains. You can build a line to do a balance beam or obstacle course. Even like paper towel holders or toilet paper rolls, like taping them and making ramps or little chutes that you can put cars through. You can use tape and to sort by color, like making different boxes for different areas. You can even tape coloring pages down to things so that it's easier, and practicing kind of using both hands. Tape can do wonders.
So just kind of some examples here. To the left, I call this like the rescue tape. So I'll take like those little small manipulatives and like tape them down, and then the child will need to, pull the tape off, put in a box or something. But we're working on those fine motor skills. We're using some verbal or nonverbal skills of like, maybe we need more, or if we need help. Talking about the different toys that we have, like a horse. Using those language skills here will be great to just build like functional communication. To the right, we have an obstacle course. Our kids love obstacle courses, running through tunnels or anything like that. And sometimes we don't have that. So like we'll make the painter's tape in like different zigzags or like a square, and you have to hop in this one. So again, endless amounts of activities we can do here. I think just painter's tape is really great because it shouldn't pull the paint off your walls, and it's really easy.
In general, toys are a tool to get your child to engage with you and build that relationship and make meaningful interactions. And everyday items in your house can be just as fun as a toy that you buy at a store. So everything that you have in your home can be a toy in a different way, and expand a kid's ability to engage and sustain that attention, and also participate with you in imaginative. Oh my God, I cannot speak. Imagination.
Yes. And just to add on to that, like toys are so expensive nowadays. I mean, I or throughout early intervention, I was making all my toys for the most part. So totally get it. And we're getting those real world experiences. So have fun with it. Just get that, engagement with your child to have fun. So why we're going to move on to play dates and why they're important or why we should have them. Play dates are just great to build social skills, cognitive skills, and social emotional skills. Play dates are kind of, they are just a great way for them to play with other peers and learn more of like that associative and cooperative play. They might be working on that associative play, that parallel play, and that's perfectly fine. So I think it's just a great way to build more of those overall developmental skills.
And I want to preface this by playdates are not going to be perfect every time, and that's okay. And we just wanted to provide you kind of with tools and tips that we've thought could be helpful along with those play ideas that we said before to kind of help build these play dates. So we're going to speak to getting prepared and engaging in play, navigating upset and processing the play date experience. Always, praising your kiddo for working hard and because these can be stressful in the beginning, especially if they've never had a play date before. Using social stories or books to talk about what to expect can be really helpful, and model or set up some play ideas for them can be really helpful, and supporting your kids when there's differing ideas and providing that space to kind of navigate conflict with peers.
So parent preparation, we definitely want to find a comfortable setting. We want to make sure that your child and the other peer are comfortable. It might be like at the park. We might start off at a park, or we might start off at like a library and then maybe move on to like someone's home. We want to make sure that they're regulated and able to play, or even just like sit and like hang out. We want to make sure that we're choosing a sensory compatible friend. This is super important, especially if, for instance, one friend may just need a lot of like proprioceptive input. And, if we find a friend that doesn't need that much and is, we're finding that this child is like not hitting for like to be aggressive or anything, but like more of, I want to talk to you, but we're still working on that. We want to make sure that they're comfortable and we're not just putting them in a scenario that might scare them. And we also want to make sure we're talking to a parent ahead of time, like, what are we doing today? Like, where are we going to go? What's a good nap time? Or like, when does your child take a nap? That way we're not scheduling during their nap time where they're exhausted and tired. Or how about we do some lunch and then play? That way they're not hungry. And also just being okay. This just meaning that if this play date takes 10 minutes, that's a win. If it takes 5 minutes, that's a win. I mean, it's just getting to the point of working up to that, like full on, maybe it can last 3 hours, but it's okay if whatever we planned doesn't go as what we planned it to be.
And preparing for that play date, I think some key ideas are creating structure, whether that's simulating and calming activities. Like Dominique said, it's okay to just hang out, listen to music, do quiet activities like a puzzle or crafts or coloring or a book, or you can build something together. Follow their interests in that. And by talking to the parents, you'll kind of have an idea of, what are those interests of the other kiddo. Establishing familiarity. So talking about the name of the kiddo, their parents' name, the environment you're going to, whether that's just verbally talking about it or using pictures. And then kind of setting some rules or limits and using social stories or books or anything that you kind of have in your toolbox to kind of work on that. And then, nurturing options, meeting your child where they're at. Maybe they're not yet at that collaborative play where they're going to share and turn take it, but parallel play is okay, where they're playing with the exact same materials, just kind of side by side. and modeling sharing your toys, allowing kids to play separate or together, depending on what they want.
So this slide just really talks about some ways like how we're learning. Like, for instance, that first picture here, your self-concept, your child is loved and valued. They're understanding who they are and who they are within relationships, right? So the second one is supporting exploration. Your child is confident and curious. This is just a great way for like peers modeling different ways of play and exploring different ideas. And that last picture there is that self-regulation. Your child is safe, orientated, and grounded. There's a lot of change with anything, right? But this is a great way for them to learn like, oh, well, he's not ready to share. Let me try something different. Or that's if you guys are at a specific person's house, like, well, that is his toy, but we're going to still share. Like there's only one. So really just trying to help build these skills through that play date.
And navigating upset. Upset will happen. It's part of life. But look for those signs of unmet needs and kind of help guide your kiddo to express what they need with an adult or seeking adult help, or even with the peer to kind of bridge that ability to navigate conflict with others. Take a break if needed. Go, find some cozy corners and take 10 deep or 5 deep breaths, or count to 10 with your eyes closed, or even build in like some yoga to your play date to kind of like reset and then, move on. And definitely don't dwell on the negative. This is a learning experience for kiddos in these early years. And, not everything is going to look perfect in the beginning. And that's why playdates are so important, because they're learning these functional skills and how to navigate these different experiences with different types of people. And yeah, learning through play.
And sometimes with that play date, we just need a break. I know when I had my first play date, I was super overwhelmed because, well, first of all, he wasn't really moving. So we're definitely on that onlooker play. And me as a developmental therapist, I'm like, oh, we should be matching. We should be doing this. And we just need to take a break, take a step. Let's learn this for like nurturing options. Like, let's take a step back. How about we do some alone time for reading a book, finding a safe place to unwind. Like, again, deep breaths. Those just help a lot. It'll help you, it'll help everyone. And then rejoining into the fun. So offer different play ideas. Maybe we can ask them if they're ready to go back and join in. And if they're not, it's okay. We can set up another play date. Maybe we can revisit or clarify limits and expectations. So maybe we can try, like, if we don't have a similar toy or a same toy, maybe we can, how about we color? We have tons of crayons, we can color. And then just assure their confidence. They are ready to rejoin the fun. And they just want to feel that security of being like, I can do play, I can explore, I can learn here and be safe.
And then processing that experience afterwards. During the play date, you'll want to observe your child's interactions and also your reactions. By sitting back and observing, you'll learn a lot about your child and their development. And some questions kind of ask yourself for next time will be like, how will you restructure this? Will you have it at the same time of the day? Will you shorten the time span or lengthen it? Do they require snack time? And eating in general is also a really good socialization tool. And lastly, it's time to repeat. You don't have to plan the next play date for the following day, but don't wait too long to try it again, because your kiddo is eager to kind of learn through their experiences. And this is just how they're going to learn some of those socialization skills.
So these are just our references, and we'll make sure to get these out to you guys. That was basically our presentation. Does anyone have any questions or comments? And then I'll also have my chat open, so if you can chat there too.
Be shy. If you don't have questions, that's okay too.
No worries. If we don't have any questions, here are our emails. Oh, could you actually explain what developmental therapy is and if it is covered by insurance? All right. So developmental therapy, we look at a child globally, right? So we're looking at gross motor, fine motor, communication, cognitive and communication skills. The easiest way I've explained it, and parents understand for the most part, is we're like the teacher in the classroom, but we have more of like a clinic side to it. We insurance is tricky, very tricky. We have a specific way we do that here at Bluebird, and we can definitely connect you with someone.
Yeah, if you have questions, I would talk to your teacher, like your therapy case managers, your teachers of your classroom, and they can kind of reference it back to me to see if it is billable. But it's definitely a double-edged sword with insurance companies and DT.
Exactly. We have a question here.
How do we go about matching with kids with different sensory needs? So with Bluebird, every classroom has a shared directory that teachers will usually send out in the beginning of the semester to ask if you want to participate in it. Basically, it has your kiddo's first name, your first name, and your email address. And then it's kind of up to the parents to kind of reach out to each other to see if you guys want to meet up at a park or schedule a play date. You can also talk to your kiddo's team to see if there's other kiddos that they think would be a good fit for a play date, or kiddos that are really connected. So definitely reach out to your team.
Yeah. Is there a play date with your pod only? Molly, I'm gonna turn this one
Yeah.
away. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Basically, it's kind of up to parents' discretion. If you have made other connections at Bluebird that with a kiddo that's not in your kiddo's pod, it's kind of up to you guys because it's off Bluebird's time. So yeah, it's kind of up to you guys.
And then are there play dates at the center? Currently we do not have any right now. I know
basically every day is a play date for your kiddo because we're always doing social skills activities in a group setting, especially like in one-on-one sessions. They're working with other kiddos that are in one-on-one sessions. And then in preschool and kindy, they're also always in groups, small groups and large groups, kind of working on these different social skills.
yes. And just to kind of, I'm not sure if everyone here is at Bluebird, but just to kind of get a gist of like our program, like we have like a group of 6, and then we have, those are like our big groups, and then we go down into rotations, and then we're into smaller groups. So, you know, our social skills just range everywhere. And like they get like that really good in the small rotations, they have a grasp of like a good like kind of more one-on-one with the teachers and with other peers because it's a smaller group. But with the bigger group, it's kind of like, all right, we have a group. Let's try to figure out how we're gonna do this. But it's great because they're learning how to just navigate through everything, problem solving.
Any other questions?
All right. Oh,
Oh, yes. Yes. So IAS also has opportunity with one-on-one clients and group activities. So if it's not a play date, like a set in stone dyad or something where there's two kiddos to one therapist, I'm sure your kiddo is interacting with others there too.
all right. If we don't have any more questions, like we said, you are more than welcome to reach out to us via email. Yeah, have a great night. Thanks for coming, everyone.